Hi, my name is Alexander Negri. I live in Lunins. It's a small town in Belarus, and I'm 38 years old, and I need a job. I'm looking for a job. I decided to record this video uh, as a presentation video of myself. I've never been recording such videos, um, except maybe a video on Udemy, a short course. But in that case, I was reading my lesson in English. In this case, I decided to record a video to show the way I speak, the natural flow of speech, and I decided to show the way I speak and the accent that I have, and to to show if my language skills could be helpful. And I would like to explain something about myself. Uh, I I happen to live in this city because it's the place where I was born, and I'm the only child with my mother. And my mother got sick, and she got arthritis, and she can't walk properly. And yes, she can walk around the house, but she can't go out or go shopping or something like that. And she needs constant care, and she needs someone who can take care of her on a daily basis. And that's why I happen to be here. Before that, many years I spent in Minsk, and I've been teaching English. And uh, actually, English was the source of my income, and I was doing pretty well, and there was no issue with that. And I liked it a lot, both the language and what I was doing. And because I was teaching English in Minsk, I happened to learn a few more new things, because it comes with the territory, English. If you know English, it can't bring you any money, and because I like English and I wanted to do something with it, and I couldn't stop learning it, and so on. I decided that I need to somehow apply my skills and realize myself in this area. So, uh, as you can see, I don't read anything in English now. I speak just as I think. It's the way I am. I don't think in Russian as I speak. I think in English. The issue with my speech is only that I'm an introvert, and I don't speak a lot. I only think a lot. I'm a thinking kind of person, not a speaking kind of person. Uh, uh, it doesn't mean that I can't speak, but it means that I prefer not to speak rather than to speak. And But if I need to speak and to communicate in English, it's pretty easy for me, and I can understand speech of a foreign speech, especially Americans. British pose me some challenge, just like Scottish accent was an issue with me, but I managed to overcome it and be able to understand Scottish accent as well. Uh, th- uh, the situation is that I can't use apply my English here. It's absolutely impossible. The situation here is difficult. If to be precise, it's desolate. Desolate is the word here. If you know the word, is great, because it's exactly the word that describes the situation that I'm currently in. And the thing is, I don't feel great today. That's why it can impact my speech as well now. But my idea is not to brag about English. I don't have anything to boast about in my life, but I would like to show you the natural way of thinking in English and how it correlates with my speaking skills. Uh, and I would like also to say that uh, to be able to teach English in Minsk, I had to learn a few new things, and among them happened to be web designing and search engine optimization. Um, However, search engine optimization is not I haven't achieved a professional level of search engine optimization. It's simply understanding some things that works, some things that work. And the situation is that mm English can't bring you any money unless you can promote yourself and you can find your clients. That's why I decided to build a website, and to build a website, first of all, I started to use WordPress. Sorry, I started to use Drupal 6, and the problem with Drupal 6 was that it used models. Yes, it is a great system, and it has content management system, and it has content types, which sort of like categories, but the issue was that Drupal had a lot of issues with models that rely on each other. The one model is the dependency of another, and vice versa, and sometimes the thing crashed with me, so I decided that I should switch to WordPress. When I switched to WordPress, it seemed pretty simple to understand, and it is great, and it is so on. But the and it has a lot of plugins. At that moment, there were about 30,000 plugins. But the issue was that it is a simple content management system, and it produces the same results. You can use it to produce only simple websites, and later I bought a subscription plan for Toolset plugin, and Toolset plugin was great and it's incredible, but the thing is you still cannot you cannot build a fully functional e-commerce website with login system and so on. It doesn't support it despite being a subscription plan. So the situation is that I decided that I need to make a switch, and I realized that a true programmer should learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other programming languages. That was what I did. I started to dive into HTML, and it was pretty easy to understand, and the structure is simple, and but it's just a structure of a website, not a website, so to say. So you need some styling, and so comes CSS. These cascading style sheets, they CSS is actually great. It's super great. It's a powerful tool if you know how to use it and apply it to your website. But it comes with a new challenge, because you need to have great designing skills, and to produce something outstanding, to produce something challenging, to produce something new and creative. Otherwise, it's just a copycat thing that doesn't mean anything much. Of course, CSS comes with a set of challenges as well, because it has a lot of ways that you can use to do the same thing, and that's a bit challenging, because you always want to know what is the best way, what is the best route to make a website. But in this case, when you start learning CSS, you never know what is the best option. So sometimes you learn things that, sorry, camera maybe not working, and sometimes you don't quite know, sorry camera, okay, and sometimes you just don't know what to do next, and it may you know, it may be not the way you would like to have it in the end. I mean that CSS is an interesting experience, and it is great, and you should know it well and be able to use it to produce a good website. You need to know media queries, you need to know some things about breakpoints, you need to know responsive design, CSS grid, you need to know Flexbox, you need to know responsive grid. Responsive grid is great. I don't mean that Bootstrap is. I'm not in favor of Bootstrap. I'm talking about CSS, and Sass is okay. Sass is helpful. It depends on it depends on the volume of the project, if you need Sass or not. But other frameworks, I don't like them. I think that this honest, clean code is the best option and the only best option, including vanilla JavaScript, just JavaScript, preferably no other frameworks, except maybe React, but I'm not sure yet. Then I realized that HTML and CSS is not enough to have a great website, so I switched to, not switched to, but I added to my learning base JavaScript. I started to try to understand JavaScript because I had issues with it. I couldn't understand it is the real programming language, and I had no teacher around me. I had nobody to help me out, and at the time I had no ChatGPT, so I couldn't understand it. When when comes ChatGPT, I realized that it gives ready-made code snippets, and it works. Since it works, it gives simple code snippets, but they work. So having them embedded in your website, having them inside your website, and having your website functioning the way you want it to function, you suddenly realize that you start to understand what it means, what the code means. Not fully, of course, but at least you start being able to somehow manipulate the code, the JavaScript code, and it is already something, because you are not like in a black room and with nowhere to go and no doors to open. So as a result, the website was the way I wanted it to be, and I realized that I can do some things. So I created a code snippet base and decided to make a collection of codes. I used and still use w3schools.com a lot for snippets. I use CSS front end and many others. But I also have my own code snippets, and I use it more often because I collected them and I know what I'm doing with them. So to be able to reproduce the different functionality across my web pages, which I think that it's great, in fact. Then I decided that CSS, HTML, JavaScript is not enough, because JavaScript is just the dynamics of the web page for the front user, but not the backend user. On the server side works PHP, so I wanted to understand how it works on the server side, and the server side of PHP comes in stack with MySQL. So I started to learn MySQL. MySQL is great. MySQL is quite simple to understand. The code is simple. Plus, I'm not in favor of Workbench in no way. Workbench seems great. It seems this kind of forward engineering, reverse engineering, but ultimately I decided that PHP MyAdmin is simple to understand and is simple to use and quick to use, and why to reinvent the wheel? Why should I reinvent the wheel? Trying to understand Workbench if what I'm trying to understand is already inbuilt in PHP MyAdmin, and you can create an Excel file and convert it and put it through PHP MyAdmin directly into your project, and it's already made MySQL code. So what is the point in spending more time to get into Workbench when you have already fully functioning MySQL on your website, and now you can switch to PHP to learn CRUD, create, read, update, and delete functionality, which I also did. And when I spent a lot of time to with the help of ChatGPT, of course, and finally, when I managed to understand CRUD and managed to write the code the way I needed it, of course, I understood that only this code that you have is what you have, and you can't every single time write a new code for what you already have. It's insane. It's impossible, and it can't work that way. You need to have a code base, and you need to have this collection, and you need to have to be able to do something. You need to have the code. It's not the question that you only write the code. It's the question that what you can write and what you've written, it must be by your hand every time. And my idea talking so long about programming is not because I'm trying to explain programming or something like that. In fact, I'm trying to explain myself in English. I'm trying to speak in English, and I'm trying to speak English, so that and talking about this thing just to show you the way I use language, the way I use English. The primary my primary objective, my primary aim is to show, to exemplify myself the way I speak English, the pronunciation, the accent, the flow of speech, and the natural surrounding of my speech, so that you can see that I don't read anything, so that you can see that I speak just as I think. That I'm an introvert, and I don't speak a lot. I like to think, and I like to think before I speak. That's why I would like to show you that I don't think in Russian. I honestly think in English, and I speak just as I think. Well, that's the primary reason why I'm recording this video. So PHP is a great language. I understand that Python is greater, Java is greater because Amazon.com is written in Java, YouTube.com written in Python. Learning Django is interesting. Learning React, Facebook's React, is great too. It's a great tool, but for the time being, I find PHP amusing and interesting because it works on the server side, and it's pretty interesting to see what you can do using PHP as a language, and it feels great to learn new things in PHP and be able to realize them on your project. And every time, every day, every moment when I learn in PHP, I feel great, because every time I learn something new, especially if it is challenging, and especially if it is going to be my new experience, positive experience, I honestly think and know that it's the best destiny to have in life, is to experience new things that are positive, because life is full of negative stuff that to the way that to the way the life that the way I have the life, the way I my experience of life, everything indicates that only positive knowledge and new experience of some positive things is the only happiness that you can find in this life. Uh, I happen in I hope you managed to see me, to hear me, and to listen to my speech, and see if I can be helpful to you in some way. So I suppose that's all. So long. Have a good